These are the hands of men and women at work in the Dayton area. These are their stories, stories of enterprise. And now, here is your host on Enterprise, Mr. Glenn Walters.
Thank you for inviting us into your home once again with our Stories of Enterprise. On this special edition show, we're going to examine what may very well be your story, the story of you and your personal computer. Last year, over 9 million Americans became involved for the first time with a new personal computer. And of those 9 million new PCs, 2/3 of them went into workplaces. Of course, that means that millions of us are getting involved in personal computing, whether we choose to or not, as a part of our jobs. And so this enterprise story is about that rapidly growing number of us who are just beginning to experience life with a personal computer. We went out the other day and we asked some of you, do you like your PC?
Yeah. Without it, I'd be history on especially papers.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. You know, it helps out with my work a lot. It's a lot easier to, I can start something on the computer, you know, and leave it go, play some hoops or something, and come back to it. It makes it really easy for college and everything.
I've had it for about 5 or 6 years now, and I use it mainly for word processing, things of that sort, and I'd be lost without it.
And of course, the next question is, does your personal computer like you?
It loves me. It never does anything wrong for me. It always gives me my information.
I hate my computer at work. I enjoy the computer at home because it works the way I like it to work, but I've pretty much wanted to commit suicide as a result of my PC at work.
Does it like me? Yeah, I think it likes me.
Some people go home and when they set their computer up, they give it a name, you know, and then they'll call and they'll say, Oscar's not talking to my printer. My printer is not printing. and so they'll approach it in that sort of manner. Once they've had the system for a while, they realize that it's not really out to get them.
Have you had any special problems with your personal computer?
Not necessarily problems, it is how you get used to it. That's basically, you know, get acquainted to it. You know, it's like a friend. Get acquainted to him. Until then, you know, you don't know what it is like.
The only problems would be in knowing how to set it up. If you don't enter the date at the beginning to get it going correctly, then it can really mess you up.
Well, I can tell you one real frustrating problem. I have a software program that was a word processing program, and they figured the lifetime of this software would be about 3 years, and so it turns out it wouldn't take a date at the end of January 1987, so when you went to use the program, you'd punch in the date after January, the thing wouldn't let you in the program. And it took us about a month and a half to figure out what was wrong.
Basically, more or less working with the printer, and I produce a lot of mailings, things out of the office, and we have a difficult time getting it all to run smoothly.
Problems? Let me think. Sometimes it tends to just software failure, but that's more of a software problem than the computer problem. Other than that, it's been great.
Every time somebody moves, cables get loose and become disconnected. So we can bet if they call and they say something's not on, have you moved? Yeah, check the cables, make sure they're plugged in.
Today on Enterprise, we're going to show you an unusual new facility which is doing research in human-computer interaction. The new research facility is located in the Anderson Center at the University of Dayton. Often our ability to understand a problem is limited principally by our ability to observe it. The Information Systems Laboratory is a tool designed to facilitate the accurate observation of highly complex interactions. Interactions between humans and computers, interactions between humans and computer software, interactions between humans and other humans. The most obviously unusual feature of the new Information Systems Laboratory is its capability of simultaneously recording 4 separate views of an interaction on 4 separate full-frame videotapes, and also recording all 4 of the views on a combined quarter-frame original tape. To explain why this is so very important, here is Dr. David Beers of the University of Dayton's Department of Psychology. Dr. Beers is actually a specialist in what is called human factors research. Welcome to Enterprise, Dave, and tell us about human factors research. What is it?
The simplest way, I think, for everyone to understand what human factors research involves is to think of it in terms of the person-machine interface. In our everyday work environments, we oftentimes have to interface with complex machinery, and human factors deals with the issues involved and how the individual, the human, interacts with that machinery. Deals with how you might design the machinery to take into consideration man's capabilities and limitations. We have before us today a prime example of a situation of human factors, where we have an individual, a user of computer software, interacting with the software, the hardware, and also the documentation. A person's encounter with his personal computer represents a highly interactive situation in which the software with which he's working, the keyboard that he's using, the documentation that he's using, as well as the experiences the person brings with him to the situation, all work together to affect his perception of how usable that system is. For example, I can think of very simple things dealing with the keyboard and how that affects your perception of what's going on in the situation, how usable is my PC. The original IBM personal computer keyboards that came back to indicate whether or not you were in caps lock mode, you press down the button and it popped right back up. Well, if you ever used an IBM Selectric, when you were in caps lock mode, you press down the button, it stayed down. So here you are, opening up your new PC, you're beginning to use a word processor, and all of a sudden you want to put something in capital letters. So you hit the key, and you forget, gee, am I in caps lock mode or not? And you can't tell because the toggle switch isn't down. It's in the same position, regardless of whether you're in caps mode or not. I can think of another situation dealing with a keyboard I'm sure everyone's encountered. You can think of yourself having grown up on a typewriter, and you go to use a keyboard associated with a personal computer, and the keys aren't in the same place. And you're busily typing away at your new fantastic word processor, and all of a sudden you go to hit where the shift button is, and you hit the alternate key. When you hit the alternate key, you type in some letter after that, and it just so happens that alternate T is some command, and it sends you out in hyperspace, and you look and say, gee, where am I? Oh, how did I get there? You have no idea how you got there. And you're so befuddled by the situation, not anything particular to the software you're using, but just simply because the keyboard of the personal computer is laid out differently than it was from the typewriter here we're used to using. Other examples, common examples of problems with PCs. You come to the use of the computer, using a computer with a wealth of experiences. Imagine yourself looking at the software on the computer. You're about ready to start something, and you're faced with this menu at the bottom that says add, multiply, and add, modify, and has a bunch of other choices. And you say to yourself, well, gee, add. That means add something there. Well, gee, I don't have anything on the screen. I don't want to add something. Well, let's see, modify. Well, modify means change something. Well, there's nothing on the screen yet. I'm not going to change anything. And you go down the list of options on the menu and you say to yourself, boy, none of these apply. Which one should I use? And here's a case where the command language is somewhat befuddling to the user. You come to the computer with, well, add means one thing, modify means something else, and none of these seem to apply. Common source of confusion. Another example, an experienced user of a system. Boy, experienced users love to, when they're faced with a new piece of software, try out the things that worked in the old system. A very simple thing. And in the old system you used to say set. Set meant do something. Well, you come to the new system and the word is now change. And you keep trying to use set and it doesn't work and you get so frustrated. And you're supposed to use change. This is an example of negative transfer, where you try to use something that previously worked and doesn't work with the new system you're working with. Again, a very perplexing situation to the user, even the experienced user. I can think of other examples that represent the fact that you tended to approach things one way and the computer doesn't allow you to handle things that way. Imagine yourself, you're a medical secretary who's filled out forms, records for the patients. And you've always proceeded through the forms in a very linear fashion from top to bottom. Your physician, your boss, buys a new piece of medical software that's going to speed up record keeping. You turn on the machine and you're faced with this menu. And to do something, to enter the name, well, you hit that part of the menu. You enter the person's name, then it comes back. But you say to yourself, gee, this isn't the way I did things. I proceeded through this form. You're used to filling out a form. But the way the computer wants you to do it is in terms of this menu. Every time you put in an option, go down the menu, you come back to the main menu. And you say, well, this isn't the way I used to do things. I don't like the way the computer's doing it. I don't like computers. Now, something that people fail to realize is that evaluation doesn't merely mean taking the final product developed by the software developer or the person who's done the documentation. The real benefit to usability testing comes from testing early on. Getting involved in early on while the product is being developed iteratively in the evaluation process. Evaluate the product as it is being developed.
Dave, thank you very much for this description of the process of usability testing and research. It does look like it can be a great tool for anyone developing computer hardware and software systems. At a recent press conference, some of the more unusual technical capabilities of the laboratory were demonstrated. In the observation and control room, technicians, clients, and the test director can observe the test in progress. The test director can interact with the test subject if he wishes, either by voice or by computer communication. The video technician can exercise full remote control of each of the lab's 4 cameras to provide a closer look if desired, or a wider one, or to change angles, all without disturbance to the subject of the test. The entire system of separate tape decks and computers is synchronized with a common time code. The time code is recorded on all of the video tapes as well as stored in the memory of the director's computer. The time code can be made visible on a copy of the tape to help in the analysis of the test. Adjacent to the control room is the facility's editing suite. Here, special videotape reports can be edited to present test results, to provide training programs on hardware or software systems, even to support marketing efforts of clients. This post-production suite is one of the most modern and complete in this region, and features computer-controlled time code editing, digital video effects of all kinds, and even 3D graphics and animation. Services are available both to research and academic clients and to general video production clients as well. With me now is the gentleman who has the responsibility for the management of this facility here at the University of Dayton. He's Dr. John Weiler, Director of the Center for Business and Economic Research. Welcome to Enterprise, John.
Thanks, Glenn.
Tell us a little bit about some of the other activities and functions of the lab.
Well, of course, as you know, it is a very exciting facility. The human-computer interaction research is one of the things we spend a great deal of time on. But it has other possibilities in which the same sort of video technology can be used in other applications. Focus group research, for example, and other kinds of group interactive processes. And of course, video production in terms of training kinds of materials and related to the other sorts of research that we're doing.
That can be important to users and clients of the lab, I'm sure. specifically tell us a little bit more about focus group activity. That's a term we've heard a lot, but what is a focus group?
Well, focus group is a group of people analyzing a particular product or process or idea. Traditionally, focus groups have been done using audio tapes, and then the focus group leader interprets what has taken place. We think the video aspect lends a whole new dimension to focus groups, and it will be the most exotic facility of that sort in the Miami Valley.
Be able to see people's reactions as well as hear.
That's right. They're nonverbal communication as well as what they say, which can be a particularly important part of particular kinds of analyses.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about some of the other facilities and services of the center itself.
Well,